Hello and welcome to the Sunday Chimes. We're talking about the seven deadly sins, and we're starting with the number one, which is pride. Now, how can it be that pride is the worst of all the sins? Well, it's because it's the soil in which all the other sins grow. It is a prerequisite for doing bad things. It's basically thinking you're better than other people. And you can't mug someone unless you think your needs are more important than theirs. You can't sexually assault someone unless you think your personal pleasure is more important than their well being, and so on. So let's think of a proud person. Let's talk about Adolf Hitler. Was he proud? Well, did he think he was better than other people? Yes, he did. He thought he could invade other countries and enslave them. That takes a bit of pride. He thought he could overrule his generals and his admirals because he thought he knew more about military tactics than they did, which he clearly didn't. So there's something slightly delusional always about pride. And he thought he could wipe out an entire race because he didn't like them. This is off the scale. So you see there that none of those things would have happened without this pride at the heart of it. So John Ruskin said that in general, pride is at the bottom of all great mistakes. And I think he's right. So, and C.S. Lewis said, pride is thinking you're better than someone else. And if you are always looking down on others, you can't see something that's above you. In other words, you can't have any love in your life because your soul is full up with self-love. So you can't have God, you can't have a proper romantic relationship because you're so full of yourself. And proud people accumulate lots of things, wealth, things, houses, cars, or whatever, and they're never happy because they always want more. There's always someone that's got more than them, and they can't bear that. So you cannot be happy as a proud person. Whereas humble people who don't want very much, they're actually very happy. Let's think of a humble person. A humble person is someone who thinks that other people are more important than them. Now, Francis of Assisi was a case in point. He just gave away everything he had. He spent his whole life helping other people, and he was very happy. And he said it's in giving that we receive because that's the way it works. When you give things to other people, it makes you happy. So, how about politicians? Are they proud? Well, they can be. Lots of politicians are quite happy about telling everyone else what to do, even if they don't do it themselves. But we mustn't be too hard on politicians. So, I've always said that 99% of politicians gives the others a bad name. But there we are. So, there's two kinds of people. The person who comes into the room says, "Here I am." Another kind of comes in and says, "Oh, here you are." Now, which are you? You have to work out which it is, but always move towards humility away from pride if you can. You'll become a much nicer person. Thank you for listening.